fire up here. Hey, JP, you need to sit up here with the hose. Yes.
Good evening. Welcome to Chester City Council meeting for Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. As always, we open with an invocation followed by the pledge. Tonight, the invocation will be graced with the presence of Reverend Hilda Campbell from Trainer United Methodist Church, and she's also a Chester Police Chaplain. All rise.
Good morning. Good evening. Every single day, we make choices. What to wear, what to eat, what to do. And the choices are endless. How do we treat others? How do we treat ourselves? Most of these choices, no one makes for us. We ask that the parents and the bosses and the spouses support us in the daily jobs that we do, especially as mayor, council, legislators, employees, and religious leaders. When we serve the public, we must stand up and be vigilant in the things that we say and do. Help us to keep your word, God, in the forefront. God knows all we say. Integrity and honesty. People of faith want peace and love, but so do all the others. We must lead and walk the path of truth and honesty. Ephesians 5:15 says, "Be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but live like those who are wise." Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Hilda Campbell. Madam Clerk, can we do a roll call, please?
Councilors Williams.
Present.
Green.
Present.
West. Present. Mayor Ruth.
Present. It's time for public comment on agenda items only. Does anyone have a comment on agenda items? If so, step to the microphone.
Mayor, can we go back? You didn't do approval of the minutes?
Oh, one moment on the agenda items. I'm just rushing through this. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of February 25th, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. Now, agenda items only, and these will be the items that are on the agenda packet. As you come to the mic, just state your name.
Testing. Hello, my name is Tyler Rodriguez, resident of the city of Chester. Just comment on one of the items, R23. I understand it's very much in its nascent stages, but I would just ask the city to be wary, because I understand with a city like ours, there are plenty of people who will take advantage of us. And in the case of parking and parking management, there have been cases across the country where parking companies will come with a very sweetheart deal and then take control of our streets and jack up the prices for residents. That is all.
Great, thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Rodriguez, was it? And your first name was? Oh, Tyler. Okay, thank you.
Council, any new or old business you want to share?
I don't have any neuro business, but I would like to take a moment of silence for one of Chester's soldiers that has went on home to be with the Lord. That's Mr. John Shelton Sr., one of our very own, who served on many boards here in the city of Chester and has been on the front lines fighting for a very, very long time. And he transitioned this past weekend, so if we can just take a moment of silence for Mr. Shelton. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. Madam Clerk, time for you to shine.
Resolutions for final passage. Resolution 23, authorize the proper city official to prepare an advertisement for request for proposal, known as an RFP, for parking management and enforcement to be made available via pen bid.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 24, authorize testing to be given by the Civil Service Board to all eligible candidates for the position of firefighter in the City of Chester Bureau of Fire for the establishment of an eligibility list.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 25, authorize the adoption of the 2026 rules and regulations as the official rules and regulations of the Civil Service Commission of the City of Chester and repeal any prior civil service rules and regulations.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I'll just comment, I want to thank Commissioner J.P. Shirley for putting this together for us. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 26, authorize the ratification of entering into an agreement with Chester Water Authority to furnish and install 80 feet of 8-inch DICL main pipe, one 6-inch diameter dual service, and one public fire hydrant for the new Public Works building for an amount not to exceed $11,925.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 27, authorize the proper city official to obtain construction and/or repair quotes from the Keystone Purchasing Network, known as KPN, for police station repairs and upgrades, American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA, project number 36.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 28, authorize the proper city official to make application of county liquid fuel funds in the amount of $40,194 to be used for the 2026 street resurfacing program.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 29, authorize the acceptance of the quote from MG Engineering for environmental testing and other engineering-related services for the police station repairs and upgrades, ARPA project number 36, not to exceed the total amount of $31,500.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 30, authorize the acceptance of the quote from MG Engineering for environmental testing and report for the Sun Village Park Pavilion repairs, known as ARPA project number 19, not to exceed the total amount of $6,950.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Just let it be known that the Sun Village Park Pavilion goes by a number of names: the maintenance shed, the place where we vote, the rec center. It's been called a lot of things, but I think we all know it's that building that needs the repairs, the one with the hole in the roof, that one. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 31, authorize the acceptance of the quote from S.J. Thomas for the Sun Village Park Pavilion repairs, known as ARPA project number 19, not to exceed the total amount of $264,969.63.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I heard a wow out there. That's $264,000. That is not a mistake. That just shows our commitment to continuing to improve the amenities out in Sun Village Park. Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Excellent. We have no reports from departments or department heads, but I'm going to give you a shot if you want to present a report. Sure, come on up. Not you yet. No, I'll call you. No, there's no signature.
Rich Troutman, CFO, Mayor, Council, residents. This is a friendly reminder that taxes and rubbish bills are due by the end of March in order to get the 2% discount. So you'll get the discount if you get them paid by March 31st. Then after that, 2 months at face value, and then after that, 10% penalty. So it escalates. So please, pay prompt. Thank you.
All right, very good. The 2% discount is to encourage you to pay early so we can get that money in city government and pay our bills early. We have 3 presentations, starting with our Public Works Department. Director Andrew Heyman, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Council, Mayor Roots, and everybody here tonight. Thank you for having me.
Good evening.
So I'm honored to be here, excuse me, tonight on behalf of our wonderful Public Works staff to talk about some of the great stuff that we're doing, talk about some statistics to the extent that we're able to get comparisons. Some data can be hard to obtain because it's whether it wasn't recorded previously or just there wasn't a need seen to record some of the data that we have. Some of it was cobbled together through old invoices for work or through old emails. And I think it does about as good of a job as I can at coming to creating something that you can compare so we can see sort of where we are as a department. And my hope is that this presentation will show the community not only what we do, but also understand how much we do it. Thank you. So, department activities, number one, when I put this presentation together about a month ago now, snow was on everybody's mind. I've spoken about our efforts to clear the snow here since first presenting this. The snow plowing is a major activity for the Public Works Department, quite obviously. But other activities that we handle, which may or may not be on people's radars, cutting grass. We assist the Parks Department in cutting grass, and they assist us in cutting it as well. We also cut numerous CEDA properties. It's in the several dozen range. I actually don't have a precise number. That changes. That tends to fluctuate. Those are cut typically on a weekly or bi-weekly basis to the extent that they are able. Facilities or municipal facilities typically come first. Clearing dump sites. This is something that's gotten a lot of news over the last couple years, something that we're working to combat constantly. And they fluctuate greatly. So we sometimes encounter and have encountered 3, 4, 5, 6, or even 7 dump sites per day here in the city, but oftentimes we have none that I reported, especially during the snow. We didn't receive any. They range in size from puny, just 2 or 3 trash bags maybe worth of material, to massive dump sites in the thousands and thousands of pounds range of construction debris, tires, furniture, you name it, we've probably seen it in a dump site. Sign replacement, installation, and correction. So for your faded signs, signs that are stolen or knocked down due to accidents, our staff handles those. City fleet management, that's also under the Public Works Department. So individual department heads or their designated employee typically address or handle the vehicles for their given department, but the overall overseeing and record keeping for those is done through the Public Works Department. We have filling potholes on city streets. That's something that's going to be very relevant soon. I'm sure a lot of you are seeing potholes that are erupting with the storm that we had. I'm not surprised to see them. So the city staff use cold patch, sometimes other materials to fill in potholes when and where able. That's excluding on state roads. Then those are filled by PennDOT. The leaf and yard waste collection. Leaf season here in the city of Chester typically begins around November 1st. It depends on the temperature. It can begin a little earlier. It could begin a little bit later, depending on when temperatures actually decrease. That typically goes until almost Christmas. It can end earlier. If we have a heavy-duty rainstorm or windstorm, the leaves can come off in one night practically, and then the leaf season can end earlier. So staff collect leaves in certain sections of the city, typically mostly around Widener, around Chester Park, where there are more trees, but can be called to other parts of the city in the event there's a large accumulation of leaves. We issue street and sidewalk permits along with dumpster permits for dumpsters that are in the right-of-way. So if you see a dumpster on a private property, that would be through license and inspections. And then we also do trash collection. We have a private hauler here in the city, and so that is under the streets department. Just a couple examples I wanted to show people. Faded sign. We've got a tree branch in a wire, sort of an odd one that happened, and we've got a dump site from a clean out. This is currently probably the most frustrating thing that the department is facing. It's sinkholes. So here you see probably the worst sinkhole that I've ever encountered directly. This was between 3rd and 4th and Yarnell. Back in 2024, this sinkhole ultimately was found to be 30 or 40 feet wide at one point, and probably, I would say, 6 feet deep at its deepest point. It was full of water. It was caused by a broken water line. Sinkholes frequently caused by water lines, sewer lines, sometimes intrusion around stormwater equipment or facilities, rather, and then old utilities, manhole covers, things like that are also places you'll get sinkholes. Couple more. I wanted to show a couple odd ones. That is a wasp nest in a traffic light by 12th and Edgemont. That's also the strangest location I've ever seen for a wasp nest. I can say that with confidence. We've got our trash truck here, and we've got our leaf truck collecting leaves. Took that photo on the left, that's right out from my office, but those are some of our street lights. Those street lights were out, but a council member reported that to us. Turned out there was a fault in the line under the street. They're now up and running, but this is something that the Public Works Department handles quite a bit. And there's one of our plow trucks. That's a heavier duty dump truck. All right, so some comparative statistics. So in 2024, we had 1,700 signs installed. That includes approximately 920 new street signs that were purchased with American Rescue Plan Act funds. That represented the majority of the street signs in the city, but it did not replace every single street sign in the city. So we still have some of these smaller, older versions that are around. Then that also represents about 700 to 800 signs that we replaced. On top of it, stop signs, no parking here to corner, things like that, signs that our staff replaced. One-way arrows, very common. Again, that's down to about 800 signs this year. That is because those signs the majority of those were installed with American Rescue Plan Act funding in 2024. 2024, we had 45 sinkholes compared to 58 sinkholes last year. As of the date that I made this, we were up to 13 in 2026. That number is comfortably, I would say, about 20 now. That's a significant increase compared to what we're used to. I assume it has to do with weather, but ultimately they all have different causes. Not all of it have been determined. There were approximately 600 dump sites cleared in 2024, but while not every small dump site was recorded, we believe that was down to about 300 in 2025. In 2024, Public Works used 338 tons of salt for snowstorms. We were over 900 tons of salt in 2025, and we're about 650 for 2026. This data is a little bit old. In 2024, 15,231 tons of trash were collected by our staff. That's a mixed dump site and residential. They weren't separated out at that point. But in 2025, there were 15,371 tons of trash collected, and 3,069 tons at least were from dump sites across the city of that. 96 street lights were replaced in 2024. That dropped to 78 in 2025. And 92 tons of cold patch were used in 2024. That was down to 71 tons in 2025. And I would generally attribute the difference to the mild winter that we had in 2024, but that may not be correct, unfortunately. Other facts and statistics, there are 22 full-time outside staff augmented by seasonal per diem help. They come in the summer, help us with our grass season, which starts typically in May. Those folks come in a little after that date, but grass season can typically go into October depending on nighttime temperatures. We also have a full-time inspector. Inside, we've got 4 staff, that's myself included. And city waste, as I mentioned previously, is collected by a private hauler, Casella, who started, as probably all of us are aware, January 1st of this year. Staff cut anywhere between 70 to 80 CETA properties approximately biweekly. During grass season, you can get situations where there's a significant amount of rain and then it's very warm and grass grows very rapidly, and sometimes that can fall behind, but that's the typical goal. Staff also collect trash from about 30 public cans and public spaces. They're downtown, but also in parks. And over 25 tons of leaves were collected in 2025, and obviously hundreds of potholes on an annual basis. And during this time of year, several per day. About 99 miles of roadway here in Chester. I've said this before. 81 miles of those are city roads. That comes out to, when you look at the census data, about 420 residents per road mile that we maintain here in the city. That's significantly lower than other similar municipalities, usually are closer to 660 from what I've seen in similar situations to us. What that translates to is more miles of roadway per resident compared to other municipal, or more roadway in general per resident compared to other similar municipalities. That means more plowing, it means more potholes, it can mean other problems too. Casella collects trash from about 10,000 households, about 2,500 that do not receive municipal trash collection from the city. They're from apartment buildings with numerous units. The Public Works Department, as I mentioned, we oversee a fleet of about 117 vehicles. Again, that number can fluctuate, and then the majority of dump sites come from private property. I don't have a precise number, but the significant majority of dump sites that we collect from are not from city streets or from city parks, but they come from resident properties where waste was unlawfully dumped. This is about the most recent snowstorm. Actually, it's no longer the most recent snowstorm since I made this presentation, but I think that the January snowstorm is great to compare to the one that we had in February because it's the most snow that we've received in about 10 years. Abnormally low temperatures with precipitation. The temperatures hovered around freezing while it snowed. As a result, there was no radiant heat in the road, so we didn't get any assistance from Mother Nature in melting any of that snow. And then on top of it, because of the temperatures being so low, road salt was not as effective. It was at times during the middle of the day after the storm, but we went through well over a week where that road salt really wasn't helping us much at all. For that storm at the end of January, staff arrived at 4 in the morning to begin salting. This will only happen when road temperatures allow it, or if the storm does not begin with rain. If it does, it's going to wash that salt away. So we handle these on a case-by-case basis. Staff stayed on duty continuously for nearly a week in 12-hour shifts. Additional assistance was provided by a few private vendors for snow removal and to help plow streets. This was obviously a significant burden for the department. 400 total tons of salt were used on city streets during that storm. We had 4 plow trucks out in operation nearly continuously, and plowing begins once roads have about 2.5 inches of snow. So if you hear about a storm coming up and we're gonna have an inch or a half an inch, the department may do some salting if we believe there's gonna be accumulation, but there won't typically be any plowing done until you get to that 2.5, 3 inch range. At that point, snow can be plowed. Parks and, as I said previously, and I mentioned this during another council meeting, but Parks and Public Works staff collaborate during snowstorms, so we really function as one department. I'm really grateful for the support Mark Alexander gives to our department and his staff, who do a wonderful job. And we're really grateful for their assistance. I mean, they are really impressive workers, and we really could not do it without them. So another shout out to them. The snow removal has continued at a slower pace for weeks. That line is relevant only because I wanted to mention that this continued after the January storm for several weeks during regular hours. This is one of several locations that we use to deposit that snow that we collected from intersections and from other places where it was just getting in the way. I don't have an estimated weight. This is hundreds of loads. I didn't take a photo to show the other side of the parking lot. This is the 7th Street basketball courts, but there was just as much snow. I really wanted to show you the scale of how far back that goes. I'm sure there's still some snow there now, and we also used other locations too. Vehicles and equipment. So a lot of the equipment in the Public Works Department is, let's say, not brand new, but we are doing, with council and the mayor's support, a fantastic job replacing some of that old equipment and getting in newer equipment or equipment that we did not have. A couple vehicles that I think are worth specifically noting: the bucket truck. The department received a new bucket truck in November of last year. So far as I can tell, we have not owned one since roughly at least 2003, if not earlier. That vehicle allows us to replace light bulbs here for the city in-house much faster than previously had done, relying on an outside vendor. It allows staff to trim trees, dead limbs, and do lots of other services for the city at a fraction of the price previously, with, I would say, greater speed. And I'm very impressed, even though we did not have, this was not a vehicle we were replacing, so there wasn't this ready group of people who were used to using a bucket truck with a lot of experience. We had to go out and get them experience and training. I have been absolutely impressed by their ability to take on that responsibility and to run with it. This bucket truck was used, and a great example of its use was during this recent February storm. It was quite windy, and a lot of the snow accumulated in traffic lights, particularly sort of in that 12th and Edgemont vicinity, it seemed. And so that we were able to bring that bucket truck out and just remove the snow. It would have melted, but some of those intersections you couldn't even see whether the light was red or green. And so this was a really valuable vehicle for us to have. We also have 3 new plow-capable trucks that are on the way that will be acquired this year through the LSA grant, which was announced at the end of last year. Those will allow the department to access smaller locations, particularly places like Buckman Village or Sun Village, Sun Hill. These are narrow roads where heavy-duty 10-foot plows on dump trucks aren't going to be able to reach. And those were problematic for us, I would say, during the last storm. Staff did a great job overcoming the shortage of equipment, but I'm very grateful for these new trucks, which will really help increase our ability to get into those areas. We also have 3 new electric vehicles coming to the city. Should arrive around the time that the new Public Works garage opens up, so sometime at the end of this year, ideally. These were purchased through a grant which was awarded several years ago, and they'll replace much older equipment. One thing I do want to know is that we have at least 2 vehicles in the department that are older than me. So that is quite rare. I don't get to say that anymore. I'm not too young. So, that just shows how old some of these vehicles were. We also have a new heavy-duty front-end loader, a backhoe, which was acquired in 2024. That has been very helpful in cleaning up some of our dump sites as well, and also for clearing snow. The new Public Works garage. So coming at the end of this year. This is a massive investment in the Public Works Department, and it's going to help our capabilities, and I'll explain in a moment. The current site is not adequate for Public Works staff. It is an old building. I don't know how long that we've even been there, but it is not sufficient and only has about 1 bay that vehicles can be parked in. And what that means is that vehicles and equipment that need to be in climate-controlled spaces, unfortunately, are not things that we can have right now, or they're not as easy for us to maintain right now anyway, because we don't have those inside clear spaces to store them and to work on them. The new space is a 7-bay garage, one which has a lift, so we'll be able to do, potentially in the future, some basic maintenance. That's the goal. It would be a shared space with the Parks Department. It will have 3 chargers for those new electric vehicles that I just mentioned. It's got a new salt shed that will come with the same 400-ton capability we have now. However, it's much newer, so there's less risk of rainwater getting onto that salt. And, the climate-controlled storage for equipment, but also for vehicles. The equipment, I want to note, this facility is designed for the Public Works Department not only of 2026 or 2027, but say of 2047, and where ideally this department can be, this is a building that can handle that. So we're very grateful for it. Has office safe for staff too, so some of you may be thinking, don't get too excited. You've got about a year, but then you won't have to see me as often up here at City Hall. I'll be working down at my new office at the Public Works Garage. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop serving the community. This is not intended to be a public-facing facility, so we're not going to be bringing people in for meetings. Typically, that will still be up here, so if you require assistance from the Public Works Department, you'll still have a friendly face here to assist you. And that's all that I have.
Let's give that man a hand.
Does anyone have any questions?
That last picture of that guy, he was pretty handsome.
I agree. That's why we put him on the PowerPoint, Councilman.
Great presentation.
Thank you so much, Councilman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to
Bring the mic
tell
up.
Director Heyman that I really appreciate all of the hard work that went into this presentation, and I always appreciate the work from the staff, Public Works and Parks and Recreation staff. So thank you again. Thank you to you and your staff.
Well, Councilwoman, thank you. And thank you to you as well, because obviously these folks, I've said this in front of you a number of times, and I'm happy to say it here. A lot of these folks, they've known you for years, and a lot of their concern for the community came from you teaching them the way. So I'm really grateful for your support and friendship here and advocating for this department. You've always been a big advocate for Public Works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is just another example of us presenting to you, the public, what goes on in City Hall operationally. This is a department presentation. One of the things that you see presented is photos of workers in action and data. That's one of the things that I'm really impressing upon my directors is to collect data. You can't manage what you can't measure, and you can't measure unless you have data. Data helps you compare one year to the next to see if you're improving or declining, and more importantly, managing. So data is really important. We're going to have some additions on our website. The fancy word is dashboard, a place where data is gathered, and it'll be available for the public just to see, how your money's being spent, how our guys are working, what progress we make. I want to talk about a couple things that you mentioned, though. A piece of data that I wasn't familiar with until I saw this presentation. Our guys are emptying 30 trash cans, public trash cans that we are putting out there for people to put trash in.
That's correct.
That's correct. That's not enough trash cans. So that's why numbers are so important. People will not litter if there's a trash can around. And by the same token, if the trash can gets full, then litter happens all over again. So it's that number was really important for me to see. We have to find ways to get more trash cans around the city. We have to find ways to get store owners to put trash cans in front of their stores. There's a lot we can do to reduce litter in this town, and I don't think it's just people who by default just want to throw litter on the ground. They just don't have trash cans to throw them into. So we're going to work on that. And most importantly, you talked about the LSA grant. It doesn't matter what LSA stands for, but the city received over $800,000 just to buy vehicles. So when you talk about buying 3 trucks, those trucks aren't like buying a family car. Those trucks average hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's really significant. I remember watching the poor Public Works Department in the past just drive around in trucks that couldn't be inspected, couldn't pass inspections, floorboards that were falling out, rusting out, just bad equipment. And one by one, we're replacing those vehicles, and I'm really proud of the fleet that we have out here. It's really important for our guys to know to take care of that fleet too. So, a lot of it goes into budgeting well, knowing what we need. He loves his bucket truck. I can tell you, Andrew Heyman here, first thing he wanted to see when he came in is a bucket truck. So he made sure we got one. It took maybe 18 months, I guess, from the time you came here to the time it arrived. But
I would say
see, he's gonna calculate.
17, yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
There you go. See,
Yeah.
I keep track on you. No, but thanks a lot. It was a great presentation.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things I want to address, just that because you mentioned them. Having old vehicles is not a status thing or even just a fuel efficiency. There's also a cost that the city incurs as a result of having those older vehicles. So the older vehicles, they go down during storms. They have issues, mechanical issues, some of which cannot be anticipated or even blocked because of regular maintenance. Some of these vehicles are very old. And so, when that happens, it puts more strain on the other vehicles, and it can be quite a problem if it happens during a snowstorm, which unfortunately it does happen. So having those newer vehicles decreases the odds that something like that will happen. But then they also ideally decrease maintenance costs for the city because these are new vehicles. And so there are a couple good reasons why getting those vehicles in. In some cases, those are vehicles replacing old vehicles. And some of those vehicles are, I would say, in some cases, barely functioning. The other thing I want to mention about the trash cans is that part of that electric vehicle grant, I didn't get into what all those vehicles are, but one of them is a trash truck. And so our trash truck is very old and does have issues. So getting a new electric trash truck ideally will be very helpful in getting more trash cans if there were more to be added.
All right, great. And we don't have a mechanic, so it's really important to keep our trucks on the road because when they go down, they have to go out to get repaired. And you mentioned the Public Works garage, the fact that they have garages. I mean, if you have a nice new car, you would rather it go into a garage at night than to sit out on the street. Now we're going to have that luxury with our Public Works garage. Our trucks, our lawn mowers, all those pieces of equipment that right now are sitting outside in the elements that shouldn't be, will be either undercover or in a garage. And that's going to go a long way in reducing maintenance costs. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mayor.
We're going to have another presentation, but before we do, we're going to break it up with reading a proclamation. A proclamation is where we're proclaiming something, and those of you probably already know that the month of March is Women's History Month, and we just want to recognize Women's History Month from the city of Chester. March is nationally recognized as Women's History Month, a time to honor and celebrate the countless contributions of women to the social, economic, cultural, and political advancement of the United States. Throughout our nation's history, women have broken barriers, expanded opportunities, strengthened families, built institutions, led movements for justice and equality, and shaped the course of American progress. The city of Chester, Pennsylvania's first and oldest city, stands as a living testament to resilience, innovation, and transformation, proudly embracing its identity as a community where history meets progress. Chester's own daughters have made indelible marks on the world stage, including the legendary Ethel Waters, whose groundbreaking career in music, film, and Broadway opened doors for generations of performers and exemplified excellence, courage, and perseverance. Chester has been shaped and sustained by generations of extraordinary women, educators, entrepreneurs, artists, healthcare professionals, public servants, faith leaders, mothers, mentors, and advocates whose leadership continues to move our city forward. Women leaders in Chester today serve at every level of civic life, from city council, made me lose my spot. And municipal departments, to neighborhood block captains, nonprofit executives, small business owners, and community organizers, ensuring that our city's future is brighter, more inclusive, and more equitable. There are sororities, women's ministries, and women-led organizations throughout Chester, including local chapters of historically Black Greek letter organizations, civic associations, and community-based groups. They all play a vital role in mentoring youth, providing scholarships, promoting public health, advancing economic empowerment, and strengthening the fabric of our neighborhoods. As our nation commemorates 250 years of American independence, the City of Chester proudly acknowledges the women who have always been central to the American story and to Chester's story, helping to define who we are and who we aspire to be. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Stefan Roots, and the members of this Council of the City of Chester do hereby proclaim March 2026 Women's History Month in the City of Chester and encourage all residents to honor the achievements of women past and present, to support the advancement of women and girls, and to continue building a city where opportunity, leadership, and progress are accessible to all. Presented this 11th day of March 2026 by myself, Councilwomen Portia West, Tamika Williams, Councilmen Fred Green, Shaquan Davis. And here it is. Let's all stand. This will be on display somewhere. Okay. Back to the presentations, the Bureau of Health update by our own Dr. Kristen B. Motley. She is our health commissioner, and she is a she.
You didn't get them? Okay, that's fine. I sent them in. I just sent them like a half hour ago. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I just want to give you all an update on the Bureau of Health, what we've been working on. The slides may show up, but if not, they'll be available with the meeting minutes.
Thank you.
In terms of healthcare, we have had about 157 referrals to Together for Chester since we started it last May. We're in the process of going back to all those people to make sure that they have been connected to a provider and to make sure that they don't need anything else as it relates to their healthcare. We are currently Together for Chester. We meet every other week. We are currently exploring a potential volunteer-based medical clinic. We're at the preliminary discussions for that. We actually have our first formal meeting in a couple weeks now to discuss how that may look. There have been some interest by a group of nurse practitioners that run a clinic in Camden now to come to Chester to offer their services here. They are looking for space, so if any of you know of any space that may be available. They don't have much funding for space. I did connect them to Chester Housing Authority, who has some space because the pharmacy there closed, but they can't afford the rent there. So they are looking for space to be able to serve Chester. There is also a grant pending that we may get to offer primary care here in Chester that will also be run by nurse practitioners. We're just waiting to find out if the funding comes through for that. Also want to remind everybody, really, that Crozier medical records access will be limited, will go away next year. So really encouraging people, if they haven't already, to make sure they get their medical records, especially parents of children to get their medical records because they need their immunization records for school, for college, and you don't want to run into a problem where you don't have records. And if you don't have records, that means you didn't do it. And if you didn't do it, then you got to get those shots all over again, which is time and money and a little prick in the arms, but it'll be a lot of pricks in the arms because they will have to start over if there's no proof that it was ever done. So really trying to encourage parents to make sure that they get their child's immunization records because no one else has them. Especially if they were patients of Crozier Pediatrics, that they have to get their records from the current holder, and they won't be available after in almost a year. If they do need help accessing their records, they can contact the Delaware County Health Department. They can call the wellness line at 484-276-2100, or they can contact us at 610-479-0463. So we can help them as well. The other area that I've been supporting is policy. So I've been joining our Mayor Roots in Philadelphia to support the Stop Trash in Our Air Act. That is an act that has been introduced to Philadelphia City Council, where they will know, if it's passed, they will not be permitted to engage with a trash incineration company to dispose of their trash. About a third of the trash that is incinerated at Rewell is currently coming from the city of Philadelphia. So we're looking to bring that to an end. So we'll see how that goes. It is going to get called up for a vote on April 9th. So we're working behind the scenes to make sure that the council members are informed and they can make an informed decision. Also helping to advance House Bill 2041. This is a House bill that's coming from a PA House bill that will require that children be tested for lead twice before the age of 2. This is what the CDC has recommended for many years. And a lot of states around the country already do this. And so we're just trying to get Pennsylvania caught up with the rest of the country. So we'll see how far this goes. But we did write letters. I also recruited a number of students from 4 different universities in the area to also write letters to their PA representatives as well. I previously shared that I'm a policy fellow on behalf of Delaware County, and so I am currently working on a policy brief. We all got to choose our policy briefs or our policy topics, and the topic that I'm working on is to limit air pollution in overburdened communities, and this will be presented and prepared for Delaware County Council in the next 2 months. So that's policy work. And then for the lead program, we received the final award letter, and all of the required onboarding has been done with HUD. I want to give a shout out to Rich Troutman, who's been really helpful in helping me with the budget and all the paperwork that was needed to carry things forward and to have everything done on time. Within this grant, we'll have 4 full-time roles that will be added over the next 6 to 8 months. I've also updated the landlords that our lead ordinance that was approved in 2023 that has not been implemented will be implemented starting 2027, and that they currently have resources to do their lead inspections and to have the remediation done. There's 2 that have been in existence for a while. That's Community Action of Delaware County as well as the Delaware County Health Department. They both have HUD funding already that can help the Chester landlords or any landlords across the county to get the lead inspections done and lead remediation done. So they don't have to wait until our program starts. I've been stressing that to them. Take advantage of the funds that already exist. And then we'll hear next from Emma Note, who is my social work intern. She'll share a little bit about what she's been working on.
Well, before she does, before she does, does anyone have any questions on what was presented? Because I do. Anybody? Oh, okay. You said 157 connected to primary care physicians, or did you see 157 people?
157 people have been connected to providers. So it could be primary care, it could be specialists. It just depended on what their needs were.
So because Crozier closed, a lot of people lost their primary care physician, like me. Mm-hmm. Are you still doing that work?
We won't stop that.
Okay. So people can come see.
They can. So I don't have a bunch of interns like I had over the summer. Hopefully we'll get some more. But Emma spends 1 hour twice a week there, and then I have another intern that'll spend 1 hour 3 days a week there. It's not consistent, but they can always call if so if they can't catch us downstairs in the lobby, they can always call. Let me get the number. 610-479-0463. They can call or text that number, and we'll reach out to them.
Okay. So if you've lost your doctor as a result of Crozier closing, call that number and you'll get some help being connected. The next piece I have a question on is the nurse practitioners from Camden, considering coming to Chester, just needs some space. Explain to people how nurse practitioners can serve the role of the primary care physician does.
Sure. They actually have the same authority to see and treat patients as a primary care physician. They just have to, in the state of Pennsylvania, right now, they have to work in agreement with a licensed physician, but they can work independently. So they don't have to be in the same office all the time. They just, on paper, they have to have that oversight, but they provide the same care. And I honestly find, because typically they're coming from a nursing background, they have to be a nurse. A lot of times they spend time in nursing. They take a different approach, and that I really have learned to appreciate. They have the ability to spend more time with patients. They come with a different level of empathy and understanding sometimes. And so I love nurse practitioner models. They work really great.
Okay, and I'll double down on that. The last doctor I had who was in the Crozier system, if I wanted an appointment with him, it would be months to get an appointment with him. But he had a nurse practitioner on his staff, and I think he had more than one. And it was within days or weeks, even days, you can get with them. And to your point, their bedside manners were so much better than the doctors. So, for the people who don't know, nurse practitioners in all ways, shape, and forms are going to be the doctors in communities like ours. There's a whole lot more available. If it's just a matter of finding space for these nurse practitioners to practice, we have to try hard and make that happen. Requesting medical records. You said that's going away next year, so I imagine the Prospect bankruptcy judge ruled that they will cut that thing off by the end of this year. And if people request their medical records before the end of this year, is it still free?
It's free right now. So they, I know that the Foundation for Delaware County contributed a certain amount of money to cover records, and that has not been exhausted.
Okay. And I should know this one, but you kind of surprised me up there. This grant that we're getting from HUD will make available four full-time employees.
Yes.
Will they be city employees?
They will be.
They will be. Look at that. She's creating jobs for the city, y'all.
Help for me is what I'm creating.
How long will that money last? How long will we expect them to be employed if it's going to be grant funding that keeps them employed?
4 years.
4
But this
years
is
for
a
4
grant.
people?
Yeah, but this is a grant that has been in existence for many, many, many years, and a lot of places they just keep getting the money, and so we'll just keep getting the money.
Oh, God bless you. Okay. You can introduce her again.
Thanks. Okay, Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Motley's social work intern. I've been with her now all of last semester, and I will be with her until the end of this semester. So I just want to touch on a few things that I do. So a big thing about what I do is community support, public health, and resource coordination. I help my clients or people who get referred to me figure out resources and connect them with charities and organizations to help with anything socially. So that could be food, housing, utilities, medical records, prescription cost, anything like that. And then that means I also work with different organizations trying to get clients the help that they need and trying to advocate for their care, and making sure, finding the loopholes for if maybe they are a little bit over the making the amount of money to get help from that organization, finding the loopholes how they still can get help. So on my next slide, these are 3 cases that I am currently working on. I know it's a lot of wording, so I will highlight just one of them. The case I've been working on the longest has an elderly female. She needs help with utility cost and healthcare navigation. So some of the things I've worked on her with is getting in contact with COSA, applying for help with them, and then also working on getting her a PACE card. And then now I am she has a lot of medical needs, so she's not able to come here, so I make sure to go to her house and I sit with her, help her with navigating electronics, and also trying to get her in contact with Delgo, so she can have transportation to all of her doctor's appointments. And now I'm also working on getting her help with food stamps because she makes too much money to qualify. So yes, thank you.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
That last point is very sensitive to me. Like when I was caring for my mother in her days of need, just the portion that she received of my father's pension plus her Social Security put her over the limit just slightly, so she wouldn't have qualified for a lot of things that she was in need of in terms of medical stuff. But fortunately, we had somebody like you to work with who knew all the hacks, who knew how she could tuck some money here, get a trust there. There were just certain moves that could be made so that someone like her who was slightly over that limit, could still qualify. And, I just want people to understand that just because, there's a family member who may be earning $1 more than the limit, once that limit is exceeded, you have no recourse. They cut you right off, whether it means, that could be the difference between getting a free stair glide in your house, or maybe a walker, a wheelchair, oxygen, a potty, those type of things that just, it's a really ugly system, especially when you're close. So if you know anybody in that situation, please seek out someone like Emma who knows the hacks, because there are some hacks out there. I shouldn't call them hacks because they're legal, but they're legal hacks. They're legal hacks.
A big thing that you mentioned I would like to bring to people's attention. A lot of these organizations will go over your financial records of the year previously and not the year current, and that is a struggle I'm currently having. One of the elderly female that I'm working with, she was making money and then retired, and now she is only getting what the government gets her or her pension, and it is significantly less. But a lot of these organizations, they have rules that they have to follow, and like you said, if you are $1 over, no matter what your situation is, they won't let you. So it's a thing to keep in your mind, to try to advocate for everyone around you to get better understandings with these things.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you.
questions? No? We're good? Let's move on.
I do want to make a comment to Dr. Motley. And I just want to thank you for your expertise in so many different areas and your willingness to support not just people in our community, but throughout Delaware County. I had no idea about maternal, or is it maternal, or what is it? Maternal health, and the different diagnoses that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. And your level of expertise and your advocacy is very much appreciated.
No problem. No problem. No problem at all.
not listed on the agenda, but in the room tonight is Michael Lewis. He's the block captain committee chair, president, supreme leader.
We are co-committee members. No one is over anybody. We share the same amount of
Authority. Gotcha.
authority for the, yes,
Floor
yes,
is
yes.
yours.
So up here, we have a flyer. We just had our first meeting for the Block Captains Program, looking for new people to serve for the 2026 year. And we have our first locations listed. This is open to the public. If you're not a block captain or you want to become one, we're looking to cover the entire city, every block with a block captain to help assist with maintaining cleanup. Okay, because we'll come out and clean up, but who's going to keep it up with it after we leave? Right? So if we have someone covering every block throughout the city, that should cover us, at least starting this year, to have better outlooks on what the future looks like. All right, so these are our dates, and we'll be at 2 locations every cleanup this year. Last year we did 1 a month. We have the capacity now we could go to 2 different locations in the same day and provide impact. Going out there for an hour really make a difference. If you go out there for a little less than an hour, it really does make a difference. So I like that you mentioned getting these stores to get more trash cans and things like that, because around these stores is bus stops where a lot of these kids have to meet, and they're gonna have to stand around that stuff before they go to school. So if you're a caring citizen, you want to be an active citizen, please look into signing up to be a block captain. Refer the block captain program to somebody that you know that's already doing the work. Yes. Anything else? If you have any questions, you can meet up with me afterwards. I don't mind. I don't bite at all. But throughout the year, we want to pretty much come to places that you care about. So the more you come out and talk about these areas, we can put them on the list next. All right? So those who come out, we're trying to serve y'all. Yeah, and I appreciate Council and Mayor, all y'all women in here that's been doing this for years, still walking around. Yeah, I like to keep seeing the same faces every time I come, and y'all being recognized. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Let me ask you just to speak on the benefits of the relationship the Chester Block Captains have with Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful.
Yes.
What does that buy us? What are the advantages? I think people are starting to see the blue signs pop up around the city. And I understand that there's going to be a central access location for people who are block captains who need supplies to be able to get them.
Yes, this is all exciting news. The mayor just let y'all know all the good stuff. So we have been working hard. With this affiliate with the state, we get access to resources, money, supplies, signage, everything that we could ask for. All we have to do is find people that want to take on the responsibility. And you only have to clean up your adoption 2 times a year, right? If you only have to commit 2 times a year, adopt your block. And you only have to report on it 2 times a year. And it's less than 8 questions to do your report. So if you have someone younger than you that can get you technologically savvy, I'll do it. Somebody would, I don't mind helping. Yes, so signs going up. We're trying to cover the whole city with block captains, every block, just to know that we have people that care to keep up with this type of work. Funding is minimal. We get $500 a quarter. So we have to make that work throughout the whole year, but it gets us started to a great start, actually. So we have supplies. If you want to do a cleanup, reach out. We can help with supplies or getting people to come out to support you, manpower, you know, so you don't have to do it yourself. If you just want to be a point person, say, hey, we just what we need over here. That's good, too. We need some people to, you know, let us know what the issues is on their block and where that love needs to be shared in these spaces. So, yeah, I look forward to any more questions. And I'll stick around for anybody that just want to wait.
I have 2 questions.
Yes, yes.
One is, first of all, thank you for all that you do.
Okay.
I appreciate that. But I'm wondering if somehow the block captain program could assist with asking people to be committee people in our areas, because we have a lack of people that want to participate or may not know about what a committee person is. And I think that if we could bridge that connection, a lot more people would, you know, welcome that idea. I mean, I don't know if it's allowable or how. You can't do, well, it was a thought, so that's, it was a question, and so I asked. Thank you
Yes.
for the clarity, but it's still a thought that I had. The other thing is the locations. I see you have the Lloyd Street and the Crosby Square course. Are we cleaning private entities or?
So we have a lot of parks that we touched all residential areas last year. We didn't really get into any parks other than Highland Park, which needed some love for those kids that go to that area.
Highland Gardens.
Highland Gardens. Yeah, and Lloyd Park is one of those parks also. It's not like a corporate park like Chester Park, Memorial Park, Sun Village Park. These are smaller parks that often get neglected by the residents or people that need that space to play. So by us focusing on some of these key areas where kids play, we want to try to touch that. Crosby Courts need some love.
So do you ever reach out to those, like the Crosby Square Apartments management, or, you know, asking what they could assist? Because, I mean, that's their property.
This is good because we should reach out to these businesses that manage these locations, because we want to do it, but who's going to keep it maintained after we leave?
Absolutely.
Even, I don't know if we have representatives with the Chester Housing Authority that represent each individual neighborhood, but if that is the case, we're looking to meet with hopefully some type of rep that can speak for their communities, and also hopefully have them at the table when we're considering these locations.
Yeah, for their developments, because it's their developments, and it's ultimately their responsibility. And although we're helping, right, and it's not wrong, it's still a good idea, but they can become involved if we're on their locations.
Yes, I would like to talk to you
Check
more.
with their tenant councils. You know, each development has a tenant council. So you can get the names of the tenant council from the housing authority, and they'll give you a contact.
Yes, I will meet with you after, hopefully get a contact name. Any network, any connections that could help, you know, seem like our network will help. We already have Chester Housing Authority, so is that Chester Housing Authority?
Mhm.
Okay, so Cindy is the CEO over there.
Cindy is the CEO, but each development has like a tenant council.
Okay.
And president, you know, they have officers and what have you. And they will, you know, they usually assist the residents with complaints and concerns and things, you know, activities and things like that. So, you know, Michael, I can get you some names of people to contact.
Yes, and anybody here on the housing committee, please stay behind. I would like to talk to you. If anybody, you could just raise your hand. No, they're not here. But I would like, thank you. I appreciate that. And again, I'll stay after for anyone else that have questions. Thank you.
Michael, I'm so proud of you. And Tyler, I haven't seen you in so long. You're my daughter's schoolmate, Portia, and Michael, you both went to school with little Portia. And I'm just so proud that to see the two of you still here in the community, giving back to your community.
Yeah, trying to live in
you.
Chester different.
Thank you
Yeah.
for all your work.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's public comment time. You know the rules. We want public comment. Got 3 minutes. We're going to start with Tyler Rodriguez.
Good evening, council. Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
Just to keep it very brief, I know there was a comment brought up at the previous zoning board meeting about potentially looking at our code and making some updates. I just wanted to find out how I'll be able to provide input. I'm not able to attend the meetings themselves, but I'd like to be able to provide input that I think would ultimately lead to maybe some updates that could help stimulate economic growth within our community. That is all.
I would recommend you just go directly to the zoning department, whose director is present tonight. Raise your hand again. There he is. Let's chat with Paul after the meeting. Paul Fritz. Mr. Brown Williams.
Good afternoon. Number one, first, by this mic. That boy been coughing when he was up here. You should put something over this mic. Too many people are out there in Really Memorial Hospital laying up in the thing with that COVID again. It's flying high, and that red measles. They got over 500 or 600 people laying in the hallway. I was out there last week. And let me tell you one thing about the city of Chester. Down there on 6th and Holland Avenue, them guys was fixing them houses up there. Somebody stopped them. I don't know who stopped them, but that's bad. They should be glad to see anybody nail a nail here, and if they're fixing up. Like he told me he doing highways and stuff, he must have doing all on the 1st ward. Because he damn sure ain't doing it on the 6th ward and the 5th ward and the 6th ward and the 11th ward. You go all the way down 4th Street, from Flower Street to Booth Street, holes in the roads. You go from 7th Street, Carolyn, all the way down to Booth Street. It's terrible. Now on 4th Street, they fix up with them people building warehouse where they gonna put y'all at. Because that would trump them building them things for. They put people in them. And down here on 2nd Street, it burned my heart today. You see the water, not the water company, the people who elect your money for the storm water. They clean the street all the way around. Down there by 2nd Street, Front Street. What the hell, they ain't doing nothing on 5th and 6th Street. But they're collecting these people money. Something should be done. It's a SOI right here on Parker Street. That church been burned down 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years. Why they don't finish completing that and tearing it down and love the field off, make it look good? You got a lot of buildings here, bakery buildings, falling down. Somebody gonna get killed around some of them old buildings. You got to do a little something to make it show. People talking about what they're doing, but I ain't seen nothing they're doing too much. Now your job is for police and firemen, you the mayor. I had yet, since y'all been in here to see a fire chief come to your house on Sunday and he'll run the door and want to put a fire stinger or put battery and check your fire stinger. They don't do that no more. Every mayor I've been coming here to meet none, they do that on Sunday. If you was a fire chief, you couldn't live in the city. If you wasn't living in the city of Chester, you couldn't be a fire chief. But now they bring them from anywhere. Now the chief of police is different. You can bring them from anywhere. Who you see fit for the job, the best for your ability. But the rest of them, we need a lot of work to do around here. And you need help. Like they're talking about trucks and stuff. So where y'all building down here on Front Street? Down by Penland
20 seconds,
Street.
Mr. Williams, 20 seconds.
I'm not talking no minutes. On Penland.
I said 20 seconds.
On Penn Street. What y'all doing down there on Penland Street? Y'all worry about the minute too much. When them white folks get up there and talk to us now, they talk an hour. Ain't nobody say a word. When black folks get up there, no sooner they get up there.
What's your last statement?
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Brown will give us an update on the work that needs to be done in Chester. Thank you.
Quite a few need to be done.
Yeah. You won't hear us disagreeing. I believe it's Tyrone Tyler. You're coming along?
Yes. My wife is here. Good evening, Council and Mayor. We have a complaint about a nuisance bar on the corner of...
Bring that mic up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
If it means taking it out of the holder and putting it up to your mouth.
All right, there you go. What is it, 6th and...
There you go.
So we live
We'll start over. We're talking about a nuisance bar at 6th and...
6th and Harwick.
Harwick.
6th and Harwick.
Well, I parked my car in the driveway, and they keep blocking my car in at nighttime. I called the police a couple times, and...
I'm sorry, Mr. Tyler, I don't know if it's my hearing tonight because it's late,
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Now I can
hallelujah.
hear what people are
Okay.
saying.
Even you can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, they keep
Mr.
blocking my
Tyler,
car and,
I don't mean to stop you again, but if you're going to speak also, I need your first name. Your wife.
Sherry.
Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the nuisance bar and the parking and trying to get like some maybe no parking signs or towaway signs in my driveway. Residential. And that's on Harvard Street. No, what street is that on?
Hey, let me do it. So
It is Women's History Month.
I'm from Philly, y'all, so I'm not from Chester.
So we live 7th and Booth on the corner, 3003 7th and Hardwick. I'm sorry. We at 7th and Hardwick. So on Hardwick, on 6th and Hardwick on the corner, you got the bar. It's a nuisance. Not only is it a nuisance, I know for a fact it's over capacity. It's too many people. Too many people. And so behind my house is Woodrow. And our fence was knocked down a couple years ago, right? So we just took it down. So now we parked one car back there. We got a sign, no parking. They parked there, running the bar. We have called the police, and one time they did tow a car away. It's just a nuisance. It really is. So I'm asking if we could have help with maybe out front on 7th Street, maybe residential parking sign. And not only that, on Hardwick, it's abandoned cars, like years. One car was there like 3 years. It's abandoned cars, and the bar is really a nuisance. They block us in. They don't even care. They don't even care.
Like some no parking towaway signs maybe put up. Maybe.
Okay, so while y'all thinking about what to answer, Ms. Sherry, I need to go back. Because you saying no parking signs, you're saying residential parking signs. Where are we talking about where you want them at?
The residential sign could be my home. That's my house.
Okay, so you want it on 7th
7th
Street.
and Hardwick. They park right in front of my house. Tamika, they go in the bar for like 10 hours and then come out.
And the no parking signs y'all want in the...
That's Woodrow, in the back,
Woodrow.
yeah. And I do go in the bar and get them. I'm sorry.
Okay, so your time is up, but I'm going to ask you a question. It's a nuisance bar. The nuisance is that it's so popular that cars are coming and parking all throughout the neighborhood. Is that the nuisance?
Blocking me in, yeah.
The parking is the nuisance of the bar. We're not talking loud music. We're not talking drug sales. We're not talking drunk people walking the streets.
I didn't even say that because there's cameras there. So that mean ain't nobody looking at the cameras. But it's drug cameras, it's drug sales right in front of the camera. Right in front. They stand right in front of the camera with the drug sales.
What's the name of the bar?
Sloppy Joe. I don't know. I don't go in there. Sloppy Joe. Somebody.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe.
All
Sloppy
right.
Joe.
So to everyone, thank you very much. To everyone in this room, there's our police commissioner over there. I would recommend you talk to her after the meeting. But for any issue, whether it's illegal parking, abandoned cars, everything goes through 911. I understand you do. But I'm just saying that for everyone with in this room within earshot. But for that neighborhood, for those issues, we have a commissioner here. She's probably has records of, calls from not just you, but other neighbors. So she could give you a better overview of what's being done in that area.
Excuse me, you also said that when we talked about on game days down at the stadium, sometimes you have people parking there who are attending the games, right?
Not where I'm at. They gonna have to walk.
Oh, they don't? Okay, all right.
With the soccer stadium.
Okay,
It's the bar on the corner.
okay, just the bar, okay.
That bar, there's a lot of things in Chester. Chester's the oldest city in Pennsylvania. And there's some things in this city that was suitable many, many years ago that wouldn't happen today. You wouldn't see a neighborhood bar, which back in those times, the neighborhood was, totally different. It was your Eastern Europeans over there. The neighborhood bar, they just walked over there. You didn't have as many cars. Yeah, and just it's a challenge when zoning in this town is really based on a whole different lifestyle, a whole different business layout here. And it's challenging to work around that. And I understand you as neighbors, you know, when you have a bar like that right in the neighborhood, which definitely wouldn't be allowed by today's standards to be placed there without adequate parking available. You know, you're talking about something that's grandfathered in long before cars were the norm. So I understand your situation. Same thing with industrial sites around the city. We've got some industrial, you know, zoned areas where it was a time when someone didn't mind living next to what would today be a very polluting industry because it was just an easy walk to work. You know, that wouldn't be acceptable today. Victor Cabral. Oh, is it Cabral? Cabral.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good evening, Council and Mayor. Thank you for the time. I won't take too long. I just wanted to come and share. We're going to be having an event on March 21st at 520 East.
Mention who the we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. So my name is Victor Cabral. I'm here on behalf of Four Circles Beyond. Our nonprofit is over on 2100 Providence Avenue. And we are having our second annual Rest as Resistance event. It's an event we held last year at the Chester meeting at 520 East 24th Street. And we're having someone, veteran practitioner who's also a sound and breathwork facilitator, to come out and just do some basic beginner kind of practices for folks to be able to rest and have some time in community. So we'll be gathering there on the 21st from 2 to 4. Some of our kids from the fellowship that we're running currently will be there. We're trying to have a drum circle with them as well, so it'll be a nice community event. We'll have refreshments, and so wanted to extend the invitation to you all and also anyone in the community who wants to enjoy an afternoon together. So I have flyers here. I'll place them outside. I did place them outside already, but if anyone wants one or wants to ask any questions about it, please let me know.
All right, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I have one, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Ms. Olivia Smith.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm prepared. I have my mask, so I won't have the germs here, right here. Okay, since it was brought up tonight, I could easily, make an email, but I just want to put it on public record. Since the Public Works made their report tonight, just want to let you know that 19th and Hyatt, the sign is gone. Put that on your list.
Which sign? What kind? Stop
19
sign?
Street sign. The nice street signs that y'all put up is gone. It must be pledge season. Okay? The fraternities.
Hold on, I'm sure he's writing this
19th
down.
and
Did you
Hyatt.
get that? 19th and Hyatt street sign. Okay.
Okay, you were talking about signage. Now, around the parks, if you could put some signs that says deer crossing and squirrel crossing. I mean, I've seen that, though. I actually seen a squirrel crossing sign when I was going to media, so I thought that would be, if we could get us some squirrel crossing signs, too, because they are getting hit. I don't know about your allocation for trees, but, I had stated some time ago, these dead trees are just falling. If you go down, like getting ready to go out Trester where those big pile of trees are, 25th and Providence, you go down a little further, you can see how some trees had uprooted because of some snow. I just want to see if y'all can find some of that ARPA money and take care of some of these dead trees. And you were saying something about dumping. So when people, if you have dumping, I guess here's a question. Do you wait till somebody call you to pick up the dumping, or do you have people going around? Because on Rainy Street underneath the railroad track, there's so much dumping underneath there. Somebody didn't put a sofa, now they didn't put some other stuff. So just go check that out tomorrow on your travels. And the last statement I just want to ask is, when does the ARPA money expire? Thank you.
All right. I think that's an easy question to answer. ARPA money expires when it's spent. but it all must be spent by the end of this year. Yeah. Mr. Salim. Salim, is he still here?
No.
It's your turn, sir. Close us out. While he's coming, I will remind, well, I'm not reminding anyone. I'm going to make an announcement that we did have an executive session on Monday on some legal issues and other matters pertaining to city business.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, are you finished, sir? Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council. My name is Amin Abdul Salim. I live 240 Patterson Street in Chester. I will be very brief, just hearing, listening, you know. One of the things that I wanted to mention, sir, and council, is, you know, that is out in the air, that's this war, if you will, sir. But this is, we hear, you know, wars, many wars and happen over there, and scrimmages. But this seemed to be one that should grab our attention a bit more than the others. And it's in your book. And so God wants to hear this, you know. Armageddon, the war of Armageddon between right and wrong. So shouldn't we want to have a concern to be right or wrong? So God said this, if you will, sir. He said, and Trump, if you will, President Trump, he made a great statement. I don't want to talk like that, but, you know, let me just say that. He said, you know, some pretty rough stuff, but that's him. But he said, you know, the people are wrong and so on and so on and so on. But what I want to say is that God said, they are destroyed because they do not say, inshallah. Inshallah. We came up saying that. We hear our grandmother, our foreparents say, oh, I'm going to do such and such tomorrow if the good Lord will. Please, please the good Lord. They do not say that. I'm going to do such and such tomorrow, inshallah, or if the good Lord will, or if God will. You don't see, you don't hear that. So it become their will, their will, their will, their will. So this that is upon us is all in their will, you know, if you will, sir. So we want to get back. You know, you said, well, now how can we get back? And all of this that we see is just, you know, trash, or not trash, but bitterness, disorder among us. I would say, I think that this is the end of the Shaitan's world. It's not our world. You know, our world is coming in. Our world is coming in. Our world is coming in. So, says, one day in the sight of your Lord is worth 50,000 of your years. Now, it don't take us a lot to get up, get how we supposed to be.
You got 20 seconds to wrap it up.
Looking good, you know. I'd just like to say, sir, is that let us keep, you know, saying, inshallah, we're going to be doing such and such if the good Lord will. And he tells us what, you know, he wants us to do. He tells us what we want to do. I thank you very much, sir.
No, thank you. Great message.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
All right, we've come to the conclusion of council, and usually we take this time just in case we forgot anything that we want to announce. I just want to make sure everybody grabs this colorful piece of paper. It's our flyer that lists the events that are upcoming between now and usually the next council meeting, but it might date a little further. They'll be out on the table out there. A couple they're all important. They all serve their purpose. Download the Chester City Connect app. just want to remind people to download the Chester City Connect app. It's free. It sends you announcements like these and others on a constant basis. You don't have to do anything. It just pops in like a text message. And it has listings right on the front that connect you to our website in ways that are much easier. So what we try to do on that front page, let me just pull it up so I can read off. Should have already had it listed here. Where are you here? There you go. So it starts off with notifications. Food resources, we put that as the second prompt back when food was being cut off because of snaps. Coming soon, citizen requests. That's the ability to be able to see things in the street, take a picture, send a message right here to City Hall to the departments that should be dealing with it, so you don't have to wait till a city council meeting. You don't have to make a phone call. You don't have to come over here. You can do it right from your phone. Events, block captain program, connect right to the health department. Parking issues, parks and recreation, trash and recycling, ceremonial documents. Just, you know, if you have someone who's passed away and you want a letter of condolence, you could do it right from this app. Job opportunities, boards and appointments, city council stuff, city authority stuff, live stream like this event tonight. Social media, takes you out to our social medias, the city website, and a contact us. So all the things that we know that we respond to on a regular basis is right on the homepage of the Chester City app. It's free. It's on all the, it's on Google. It's on Apple. Doesn't cost you a thing. We also have a phone number, a single phone number to reach all the departments here in Chester City Hall, 610-447-7700. When that phone is answered, it's answered by a machine. It takes you to number 1. If it's an emergency, call 911. And then they number off the prompts. Number 1 is the police and fire department if you need to reach them. All the way down to number 7 if you need to reach me. Usually there's a number in between that can handle your problem before you get to me, because if you get to me, I'm probably going to call that number and hit the departments that are going to resolve your problem anyway. So don't forget the Chester app. And then my favorite on the list, I shouldn't name favorites, but I'm really excited to see Christopher Rogers is having a book signing at the J. Lewis Crozier Library on March 14th, which by my watch says a little later this week. Chris is a young man from the city of Chester, Villanova grad, Penn grad, PhD, really bright guy. He's got a new book out. I can finally take my book over and get him to sign it, but I just love book signings. I love books, so that one's really special to me. Anybody else have anything to add? And then
I do.
Okay, great.
I just want to mention that the National Congress of Black Women, Delaware County chapter, on the 21st of March will have their C. Dolores Tucker brunch, and it's going to be at the Phoenix Ballroom. Right? And it starts at 12 o'clock? No? 8, oh, 10? Okay, 10 a.m. Thank you. And our very own Commissioner, Katrina Blackwell, is being honored, along with Amanda Johnson. So, and Miss Jessie Powell, who's a legend in our community. And there are others who are being honored as well. But I just wanted to mention that, and if you find it in your heart to support, we'd love to have you come out and support the effort. Thank you. Oh, yes. The National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women, Chester chapter, we were going to have a Black History program on February 28th here at City Hall, and we had to reschedule it due to the, poor weather conditions. We've rescheduled to March 15th, this Sunday, and we're going to have a nice program we've prepared for you with some refreshments. It's a free event, and our organization is a nonprofit. So, and we want you to know that this event is free, so all are welcome to come out. And our very own mayor is going to be a speaker for that event.
Yay me.
So that's all I have. Oh, and Dr. Motley and Emma, is it? Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I see you all the time in the hallways and running here and there, and you know, you're out and about in the county and what have you. I really appreciate what you do because a lot of people are benefiting from your efforts. So thank you very much. I may need to see you in 4 years myself.
All right, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, Ken. Man, I looked up at the clock. I said, it's 10 of 10?